Hello, Legionnaires. It is Anthony and Tim here bringing you another news video. Today, we're talking about the thing that we often talk about on podcasts. That is the PlayStation VR. At the Vision Summit 2016, Sony's Dr. Richard Marks revealed more details on the VR's capabilities. And no, in case you're wondering, no price was revealed, which is really annoying, but we did get some interesting information, including the fact that developers are saying because of the directness of the software inside PlayStation 4, the VR is actually on par with, if not somewhat better than some of the PC performance with the Vive or the Oculus Rift. Tim, how do you feel about this?
I'm not really that surprised by this. I know a lot of PC people are probably going to be mad at me for saying this because I have a nice PC. But if you're a developer, developing for a specific set of hardware and optimizing it for that is way easier than saying, well, there's like 1,500 different graphics cards we have to develop for.
Yeah.
So I'm not too surprised by this. I mean, you need a really, really strong PC to do this VR right now. And also, they said that the PlayStation VR gets a performance boost from an external processing unit, which amps up the graphics while splitting the VR images to a TV and connecting all the hardware together.
That is genius.
So essentially, it probably gets a little bit of like either a CPU or a GPU boost or both, which it definitely needs for VR. VR, as we've seen, even with PC hardware, it takes a lot to boost. So that probably will increase the price a little bit, more than likely, of the VR than what we thought, maybe. But I think, if it makes it on par with PC, or if not better, I definitely think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's really impressive how they're doing it. I think the external processor was a brilliant choice on Sony's part. A lot of people were worried, like you said, that it was going to be really crappy because it's on the PlayStation, and yes, the PC community is not kind to the consoles. And hearing these quotes and hearing the details on it has really I was already sold, but this is just reaffirming my commitment to this product. Some of the facts that Dr. Marks announced was it has 120 hertz refresh rate, 100-degree field of vision, and less than 18 milliseconds latency with no screen door effect. That is smooth, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And that is on par with any of the other PC headsets, including the premium $800 HTC Vive headset and the $600 Rift. Or is it 700? It's 600, right?
Yeah, it's 600.
It's 600, yeah. So to know that and know that the PlayStation is probably going to be $500 or even $400, I mean, that's really impressive. And I think Sony is going to see a lot of success because they managed to keep up with the PC versions, but keep their price lower. Though we don't know for sure because, like I said, they didn't announce that.
If this does turn out to be true, I do think that PlayStation, and as far as the price too, is around $500. They're going to be set up to take the VR market by storm. One, they have, close to 40 million PS4 sold, so they definitely have a big enough market for it. Price itself is relatively cheap, and, they have a ton of developers behind them to help create this content, so...
Yeah, and that's another thing, and I've said it before in the podcast, but I'll say it again here. This is going to be supported more than probably any of the other VR headsets because Sony has a lot of first-party developers, and that has really boosted their ability to create content. Like the Rift, that's probably going to be the least supported. So if you're a Rift person, I'm sorry, you've made a mistake. The Vive, that's going to be the most supported VR on PC because it's a Steam partnered object. So, Steam is obviously going to help out the Vive more than the Rift. Not saying they're going to ignore the Rift, but they are going to do the Vive more. So, similar to that, PlayStation is going to be able to support this with all their first party developers. I'm sure they're going to make all of the games that previously were not VR support. They're probably going to add some kind of VR support for that. I think it's going to be great. I think if you're a PlayStation owner, you should definitely pick this up because I'm going to be honest with you, unless your PC is boss hoss, you're not going to be able to use VR on there at a really, I mean, you're going to be able to use it, but it's going to be probably at the lowest settings, whatever those settings are, and you're probably not going to get as much enjoyment out of it when you know for a fact that the PlayStation VR is going to work at maximum capabilities on the PlayStation. So you know what you're getting. I think this is definitely something you should pick up. Tim, did you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Things. Okay. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video. In the meantime, you can like and subscribe below and head over to Twitter and follow us at Iron Sentinels, and head over to our website at www.ironsentinels.com where you can find links to all of our content. Have a wonderful day.